Alright, welcome back to the shop. Today is going to be a very awkward video in the sense that I'm going to start out with the finished product and then sort of work backwards through this. I got a lot of video on this. I filmed a lot of different things and I'm not sure how much of it is relevant. So until I go back and look at the footage and start piecing things together, I'm not sure how this is going to shake out. But all I want to say is that this video is a lesson on how plans change in the middle of a project. My initial plan for this project was to make it like it were. I wanted it to be as original as possible, and I wanted it to be functional, and I want to put it to work. However, in the middle of this project, or actually right off the hop, things started going south. My plans of making this original again just weren't going to happen. The first thing is that, and I don't mean to place blame on why I couldn't do something. It's not their fault that I can't do something. I'm not trying to make that argument. But in my mind, the initial design for this was flawed. You've taken a 5/8 bolt and effectively necked it down to 3/16 inch of steel, maybe on either side of this. I think I might have a better picture of this. But this design it could be improved upon. And my efforts to replicate that were unsuccessful. So that's my fault that I couldn't replicate it. And I'm not to say I couldn't if I spent enough time trying to replicate it, but why? Why spend the extra effort if you're not really happy with the design and if you think you can make an improvement on it? And when I said, you know, I'm going to make an improvement on it, I had to make a departure from that original restoration. I had to change my plan from making a restoration that looked exactly as close as I could to the original to something that was functional and something that that I could put to use. So to that end, what I ended up doing was remanufacturing the shaft and adapting 13/16, this is actually a lug nut off my tractor, onto the new shaft that I made. And that is straight. That is straight. That is true. It functions perfectly on here. I welded it on. It now does not have the weak point of the handle, and it offers the ability for me to come over and rapidly open and close this. The downside of it is it's not original. It doesn't look like the original one. It doesn't have the weaknesses of the original one, but so if you were to take my original plan under that rubric of having it look as original as possible, this is a failure. However, in the goal of restoring tools and putting them back to use, I think this is successful. So depending on what your take is on and why you're watching this channel, you're going to be of two camps. You're either going to say, you know, Joe screwed the pooch on this one and it's a horrible restoration and he did a disservice. And I wouldn't disagree with you too much, but I'm going to keep the old part, and if I really want to come back at a later date, or I find that you know, this was a dumb idea or whatever, I can come back. I have extra material. I have the original piece. I'm going to order the correct tap so that I have the ability to manufacture this if I wanted to again. And I could come back and cut this off and be back to new. I did not alter this tool in any way, shape, or form. That couldn't be done away with and gone back to the original. So so anyway, I appreciate comments if you don't like it, if you do like it, whatever. But I decided to change plans in the middle of this, and that's what happens with restoration projects sometimes. You start out with certain expectations, and those, as new information presents itself, you have to shift gears. So anyway, this sort of spiraled out of control, and I'm not sure I'm going to edit this video. If there's any salient information in my other video, I have a lot of video of this, but I'm not sure what's pertinent. So we'll see how this video shakes out, and I'm going to include whatever after this point in time. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video in the middle, if you will, and say thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I'll go ahead and insert a before picture now, and then here's the typical after. And if you care, if you want to know where I went wrong, maybe I'll try to figure out how to do a voiceover, and I will include some other stuff after this point in time. So go ahead and stop watching now if this is all you wanted to see. Other than that, again, thanks again. If you're not already subscribed, well, you probably don't want to subscribe after seeing this. Anyway, go watch another video, see if you like the stuff. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you got any comments, please feel free to leave them. Thanks, and have a good weekend. Keep working it. I was able to take a file and fit it down in there, sort of like the world's worst fit screwdriver, if you can imagine that. And then that sort of keyed in there enough to get me out of trouble, which is great. So this had once looked like that. I've done a pretty good job of ruining that connection there. But anyway, that's what it looked like at one point in time. Now I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with it, how I can rectify this. Alright, so beyond the problem of the end being broke off, I've got a run out issue. You can see that when I turn it, it wrecks into these support bars at either level, at either way. And that is something I think I might be able to check on the mini lathe. We'll bring it over there and put the dial indicator on it. So typically what I would have done in the past to highlight the letters on this would have been to get a little brush and some tester's paint and come in here and etch these out. And from the Mueller box I realized that sort of takes a steadier hand than I have, and it doesn't quite look right. And some of the comments that I had and some help from my mother was that, you know, they have tools for such things, for painting these raised letters. And it's called a brayer. It's called... You see that? The soft rubber brayer. B-R-A-Y-E-R. And this is sort of like a rolling ink compound thing. So we're going to give this the shot. And I've got some of that blue, some of that, I forget what color this is. Anyway, some of the blue I painted the Mueller box with.